global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. It's finally getting clear that all may not be too well come 2027 if all of these things are not being put in place. As main opposition political parties, top political gladiators can no longer keep calm, and they're calling out the presidency, calling out the APC, calling out the umpires, electoral umpires, revealing what next. Don't forget that Supreme Court, there's a case concerning Fubara on Supreme Court. All of that was discussed, and the fate of Fubara was also being announced in this matter. Let's listen to this press conference. We'll come back for more.
Build institutions, we try to build strong men. And that's the bane of this country. If you have an INEC that is an institution that is based on its principles, and there are guidelines, and there are ways to go, one of which is what I've said. If there are enabling laws that talks about conducting election, this is what would happen from the unit. It shouldn't have to deal with anybody who is the head of the place. And that's why you find advanced democracies. The institutions will take care of the people that happen to find themselves there, because these are temporary occupants of the position. So we expect that President Tinubu will be guided by these values to ensure that you have an independent INEC chairman that would play by the rules, ensure that there are no glitches in the names of those manipulated by government or induced by government through the agencies. We know, unfortunately today, that INEC is anything but independent. But if we as a people, as parties and stakeholders, the media, speak to the fact that if you want this democracy to survive, one body that is critical to that process will be INEC. And so this is a conversation that will continue, and we will be engaged very actively in having what I call due diligence carried out on whoever is appointed. And we would expect, and this is where it's very important. Unfortunately, we have challenges with the Senate today, because the APC-led Senate has become almost a department of the presidency, where wherever it comes in, the Senate president said, whatever he brings, we will pass. I wonder if he brings in death warrant, they will pass it as well for anything. However, they are representing Nigerians, and we're going to call them to account. And we will, as a party, working with other partners, with other like-minded Nigerians, to ensure that the institution, and particularly we'll be calling and speaking and engaging with our democracy partners. We're not just alone. The EU, the UNDP, other international organizations that are partnering with Nigeria in capacity building, in funding, in financial support. Of course, they need to be interested, because if they're putting their money into something, they should be able to have a feedback mechanism. So we will be part of that. On rivers, our position from day one was very clear. It was an illegal action. It was almost like how do you call it, for lack of words, and to make it very decent, so that we don't even debase our nation. It was like a coup against the rivers people. They voted for a governor, and you created the situation to harass the governor because of our system. It's a welcome development that is resuming back to his office to continue to validate the will of the people as expressed in the election that brought Governor Fubara to power. And we will continue to get engaged. We have said from day one that it was illegal. The president had no such powers. There were cases in court. The Supreme Court didn't find it exigent enough to put it and list it. But again, we are where we are right now. And so what we're going to do is to get focused on that, get engaged with our governor, let the people of Rivers State breathe again, because they've been suffocated under an illegal. But again, it's all the, well, I don't know the absurdity. A thanksgiving of an illegality yesterday on TV, and it's okay. But having said that, it's a welcome development that the people of Rivers State can have. But then the governor, who we know as a peacemaker, a peaceful man, would come back and take the pieces of and bring the people of Rivers State together so that they can begin to enjoy the time-tested, known policies of the PDP, which is creating values for people and ensuring that the welfare of the people becomes a priority. And like I always say to you, and I will repeat it again, let's have what I call peer review mechanism between the PDP states and the APC states in this country. You can do that. You can be the judge. From Taraba, you have legacy project to Adamawa, to Bauchi, to Zamfara, to Bayelsa, to Oshun, to Oyo. You find monumental projects that are targeted at the life of people. There are projects that are actually impact on people. That's what we want to do, and that's what we're saying. Welcome back to Rivers, back to where they are, which is the science and the ability of the governor and the plan of the governor to reinvent government, which was on hold in the.
All right, welcome back. It's getting clearer. Of course, the PDP can no longer keep calm. It's becoming public knowledge that not just the main oppositions that are listening or watching or knowing, but international communities are also watching and they're observing. No matter the propaganda being issued out there, no matter the disclaimer being given out there, it's obvious what is going on, and they're giving out instances of what may likely happen and what the electoral umpire is set to do. Of course, he did mention the fact that the electoral umpire is no longer independent as it ought to be, and that is not a good one for our democracy. If our democracy must stand the test of time, then the electoral umpire has a lot to play. And he talked about the issue of holding accountable all our elected politicians. It was quite unfortunate what happened to Fubara in Rivers State, and the fact that a thanksgiving was even given on behalf of the illegal quote-unquote solar administrator, and he's thanking God for a successful tenure. And to make matters very interesting, they have literally made the ruling party to know that the world is watching. And the fact that Supreme Court, this matter was expedited to Supreme Court level, and up till today, Supreme Court have not deemed it fit to get set a hearing date for this to be done. And all of this is happening yet in a democratic situation. And from judiciary to the legislative arm is not left out. The legislative arm will tell you whatever that is passed from the executive will be passed. And you could hear what he said, that even if it is death warrant, they will also pass it. Amazing though. And he talks about the fact that what should be as checkmate is now a collaboration and no other one. They are no longer independent of each other. They are now a department, a subset of a political party, something that should be for governance. The three arms of government should have been for governance. They are now set as a subset of the ruling party, and it's not getting interesting at all. And they're saying that if all is not set, come 2027, just like Galadima said in NNPP, this is PDP talking. NNPP said, check our playlist, you get to see what Galadima said. NNPP said there some few hours ago. PDP is now talking that all must be well in all they do. The glitches must not, there should not be electoral glitches. There must not be Beaver's problem. All should work well. We saw what we saw, and we hope that there will not be a duplicate, a replacement or a replica of what we saw in 2023. But that's we're going to wrap it up. Let's put in our conversation. What's your take? Do you agree with what PDP is saying? And they're sending this signal early enough so that everyone should take note.